Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. So today is going to be a fairly lengthy video. So before I get into everything I want to go over, I'm going to split the video in 4 different points. I will type them out as I cover them on the left side of the screen. So if you do not have enough patience to watch the entire thing and only want to hear about specific topics, then do pay attention to what I'm typing on the top left corner before you forward. But anyhow, so first thing I want to cover is lack of rules, lack of guidelines. So that's what we're gonna call it like that. What are the rules? What are the rules? Right? Alright, and what am I gonna talk about here is, well, first of all, we're going to refer and mention a very famous post by a certain individual. We're going to call him Mikey for purpose of this video. And so Mikey says, "We're sorry that this update came as a surprise. Ability to chain into heavy attack from a combo is not one that is intended for any champion. No champion should be able to combo into heavy attack with 100% reliability unless specifically stated in their ability description." My question to Mikey is why? Number one, like, is because you said so? Is because anybody else can mention it in the rules? And the second follow-up question would be, and how are we supposed to know what these champions are or are not supposed to be able to do? It's never stated anywhere, it's not clear. Each champion animations are different. There are different dashbacks, there are different heavy reaches, there are different heavy speeds, there are different special ranges, there are different special recovery times. For instance, in this same case, why can I punish, and let's go to my account there, let's say why can I punish let's say Black Panther Civil War's special attack, and why can't I punish Iron Man Infinity War special attack, right? So is it intended, or if this should be streamlined, like why can I punish certain special attacks and why can't I punish and get in there on time against certain special attacks, right? If all the champions are supposed to have same heavy speed and candid, whatever, why do they have different special recovery times? Why can I attack after some specials into opponents and why I get hit in the face when I try against some others? Can somebody explain? Is it a bug? Is it a bug? And the same thing goes with, let's say, Massacre. Massacre has incredibly long reach on his light attack. Massacre is pretty much the only champion that's able to dash back, evade an opponent's dash in attack, tap the light hit on them, and always connect. His light attack reach is insane. He can literally ignore any kind of like game mechanic that I would have to parry or intercept. He can simply evade opponent's attack, tap on a screen, hit that bat, connect it, and get in a combo, right? I used to like think that it is one of the advantages I have as a player playing Massacre, right? That's one part of his abilities. But now I should wonder whether it is a bug or whether it is intended, because other champions can't do that. Like if I'm gonna take Ronin has a very short light attack. I can't do that with Ronin, but I can do that with Massacre. So is any champion meant to be able to do that, or this is another bug you need help finding? And the same goes with dashback speeds, right? If you go to Mystic class, we're going to take a look at Dr. Voodoo. Dr. Voodoo has very short dashback, and that forces me to play him differently. Let's say if I'm using him against Korg, Dr. Voodoo, I need to dash back twice to evade Korg's heavy attack. With many champions, vast majority of the champions, I only need dash back once. And what does that mean? Is Dr. Voodoo bugged? Is his dashback a bug? And if so, then is Void's and Sabertooth dashback bugged? Because those two dashbacks, like Void and Sabertooth, both have insanely long dashbacks, which once again forces me to play them differently. I know kind of some things that this permits me to do and some things that I won't be able to do because of the length of their dashback. It also affects how effectively they can bait opponents' special attacks, so on and so forth. I was under impression that that is part of the game that I play, that each champion is different, they have different reaches, they have different dashbacks, they have different animation speeds, and that is whole as a concept. That what made this game interesting to me. One part what champion abilities are, and one part is their animations, their animation speed, their reach, all that once you get into the game, it's extremely interesting to explore what you can and can't do, what you can't punish. There are some heavy attacks which you can punish with your heavy attack depending on the length of it. So there are some champions who can punish, let's say, Red Hulk's heavy attack, and there are some who can't. So you can tell me that any of them are bugged? All of them should have the same reach? Or none of them should be able to punish that attack? The problem is we don't have a set rule. What should we be or what shouldn't we be able to do? And the bigger problem is you as a company should not be making them as you go along. You drop this kind of announcement, no champion should be able to punish, to combo in a heavy attack with 100% accuracy. Why? Why? Who said so? You? Probably don't even play the game. Who told you that? I bet, no, whatever, let's move on. So this basically covers the first point of the video. The champions are different, the animations are different, but what are the rules? What is a bug, what isn't a bug? Can you tell us so we know who we can rank, who is not gonna get nerfed, who will get nerfed? For instance, I have a 6-star Massacre. I'm considering to rank 2 Massacre for his ability to reach anybody with his light attack after a dashback. It's a valuable ability in my eyes. I'm gonna rank him up for that. Is it a bug? No? Are you sure? Do you need to call somebody? Call a friend? Check it out? Whatever. Okay, so the second point of the video, we're gonna talk about Hypocrisy. I hope I pronounced it right. One sec. Hypocrisy of Kabam, and here we're gonna look at historic precedents, right? And once again, I'm gonna revert to my helpful image selection, and we're gonna start off. Well, we can start as well here, right? This post is so popular, saying that we never advertised it as one, except for blah blah blah. No champion should be able to combo in her heavy attack. It was never advertised when it was never in her ability description. So we're gonna go to exhibit number 1, Archangel, right? I have found that Archangel can bypass nodes that involve stun immunity to the opposer. This only happened though when a neurotoxin ends, but it still does not work. Is this intended or unintended? Now we have Kabam Wolf answering, hey OP, just wanted to pop in and confirm that it is working as intended. Thanks. Then the title got updated there, not a bug. So we got flat out confirmation from Kabam that Archangel was working as intended. It was not a bug. His stun was passive. He was able to passively stun immune opponents, alliance or boss, so on and so forth. Then, however, like an update or two later, they changed it. They nerfed Archangel. They changed it to a regular stun. So what are the disadvantages of that? Archangel was no longer able to stun immune opponents. He was no longer able to bypass Limber. Limber one being a major factor in Archangel's kind of like downfall, because Archangel used to be able to absolutely walk through in Labyrinth of Legends versus anything that bled on and could get poisoned, because his neurotoxin stun could bypass Limber, which made him extremely easy to find openings to launch heavy attacks, which let him stack up a lot more neurotoxins and opponents just fell down quickly. And there are many obviously other piece of content where he lost significant amount of value. He's still a great champion, but he's nowhere near as good as he was before. And here Kabam confirmed he was working as intended, and then they still nerfed him a couple of months later, using basically, I think they were using 2 pieces of excuse. Number 1, they were saying that no other champion is able to passively stun opponents, which is false to begin with, because at that time we had Phoenix and we had Loki, who both were able to cause passive stun on an opponent. And the second reason was that, let me think about it, it was never stated in his ability description that his stun is passive, right? So it was never said that it should be passive. But hey, they still changed him, so they still nerfed him, right? And also keep in mind the first reason no champion should be able to passively stun opponents. A month later they released Wasp, who had a passive stun on her combo, right? So clearly, A, they don't know what they're talking about, B, they do whatever they want, whatever benefits them. There's only 1 or 2 common predominators whenever a champion gets changed. Number 1, you do not get a rank down ticket or compensation or anything of the sort. And number 2, the champion never gets improved, never gets better, it only gets nerfed. And we're gonna go a few more cases, right? Thank you for your patience. As our team investigated this, when you brought this to our attention, we quickly confirmed that this was a bug. But as we were testing out our fix, we quickly discovered that it would make Domino, already very powerful special, way too strong. So we had a problem with Domino. The Domino got released with an ability in her description that was never working. She was bugged. Bugged by Kabam standard. There was an ability in her description that wasn't functioning properly. Right? People discovered it, people that reported it. And then when Kabam checked it out, they said, no, it's too good. You can't have it. You're not meant to have it. It's too good. And they nerfed her. Well, they didn't nerf her, they just changed her ability description, right? So in this case, Domino was bugged, was in fact 100% bugged, because if this isn't a bug, I don't know what it is, because she was advertised to be able to do one thing, which she were not able to do, and then Kabam said, she's too good. So you get to play with the bugged version. If you didn't know that, by the way, if you're playing with Domino, you're playing with nerfed Domino, because she is not working the way she was originally sold. But still, right? So here again, they're doing completely something different. So here, character has an ability in their description, but they're just changing the description to whatever fits them better, to what helps them save the money, right? So you see the difference there? She-Hulk, it wasn't in her description that she's able to change the heavy attack, to her combo. Here, it would be too good. We're going to change the description. So my question is, why can't you change She-Hulk's description or any other champion's description? Right? No, I don't know. Okay, let's move on. We have another example, very recent, I believe this month. Symbiote Supreme. Symbiote Supreme, once again, was released, bugged. Oh, do we see a trend here, by the way? Yes, he was released bugged. Took a while for people to notice. People reported it, Kabam investigated it, and then they said, after many back and forth conversations, tests, we had to make a decision to keep it as it is now, which is 50% instead of advertised 100%. Any higher percentage would make Symbiote Supreme much more powerful than he already is in this area, which is not something that this champion needs. So they feel perfectly comfortable telling what champion needs and what doesn't, but they are not comfortable fixing the bugs. Or they're not uncomfortable selling you something and then afterwards saying that it would be too good. Right, so here's another example. The champion came out bugged by any definition, because he wasn't doing what he was meant to do, what he was supposed to do. Kabam had no idea for a while. Players let them know. They tested it out. It would make the champion better, so they said, no, he's good enough. We're just going to update the description. So here is the hypocrisy incarnate, right? If it suits them, if it's going to help them maintain status quo or hinder the usability of the champion, they're going to update the description. If the champion is doing something they didn't foresee, if the champion is able to overperform what Kabam thought the champion should do, they're going to refer to the fact that it was never in their ability description, therefore it shouldn't work that way. So there is no winning ever for a player. That means any champion, any bug that you discover will leave that champion at status quo, what you get to use now, or it's going to get it nerfed. Even if they make a mistake, which in all of these cases they have made mistakes. Even if they had made a mistake, you do not get what you pay for. You do not get what you bought. You do not get what you thought you're going to have. You're going to get what they find it acceptable for you to have. And here is a hypocrisy. It doesn't matter whether they made a mistake. It doesn't matter whether they failed to see something. You're never going to come on top as a player, right? And that is a problem. Because they don't play by rules. They make up their own rules as they go along to fit whatever they feel to be fit for you. It doesn't matter what you think. It matters what they think, what they find appropriate. We never get to test either Domino or Symbiote Supreme to their full potential. It's just they said to us it would be too good, right? And yeah, so I guess this would make them hypocrites. Because we don't have a set guide blind rules. They are using lack of ability description to nerf a character. But the problem is ability description does not describe the reach of the character. It does not describe whether I'm able or not able to punish certain special attacks. Ability description does not tell how far or short is a dashback. Ability description does not mention what is the reach on my heavy attack. It doesn't mention many things, and it's not meant to. But they still use it as an excuse. And now third point. Third point is going to be more or less a direct address to Kabam. Kabam address. And this is going to be fairly shorter point. And this is like, sincerely, I hope this finds their way to any of the Kabam employees. And that is just called to open a bit more dialogue. It's kind of, I'm hoping Kabam, you as a company, are able to comprehend that we're not dogs, we're not some sort of scum. We are able to talk to you, and we would like to be talked to. Any kind of upcoming change like this should be discussed. Situation with She-Hulk, let's say, okay, you stick to your guns, you want to nerf her, it could have been done 50 times better. 12.0 could have been done 50 times better. 6.2 is so screwed up, hardly anybody wants to play it, but still you stuck to your guns, right? All of these things could be done much better should you have the common decency to actually open a dialogue to players, ask us, cue us, warn us, interview us, compensate us. Like, again, one common predominator for all of these instances of character changes. No one got a rank down ticket, no one got a compensation, no one got anything from Kabam, right? Even though here is like a nice piece of text saying rank down tickets were originally introduced to only be used in the circumstance that a champion is changed in a way that is no longer performing as it was intended to, and the effectiveness of the champion has been significantly altered. Archangel's effectiveness got significantly altered. She-Hulk's effectiveness is being altered now. Same would go for like Domino. I did not get what I paid for, kind of thing. But be that as it may, in any of these cases, nothing had been done. No players were compensated. Nothing. Do you really think that's all right? Do you think that is how anybody would like to be treated? And the question is, why are you treating your players this way? Then my honest piece of advice, and I get it, I'm not the oldest, most wise, maybe not the most intellectual person in the world, but here are a few pieces of advice I would like to give to Kabam as a company. Number one, do what you promised. Have some integrity. Improve your communication with your players. 12.0 debacle was your wow to player base that you will improve the communication. The fuck you did not. It's horrible. Horrible. It has never been good. You don't. You just do things, you put them in announcement, you put them in shady changelog notes, you never open a proper discussion about anything. You make a decision and you do it, and you disregard any criticism or comments or feedback that we give you. Feedback on Act 6, Chapters 1 and 2 took you half a year to... And did you listen to the feedback? No. You saw that nobody wanted to play that shit piece of a content that is 6.2, that you are losing money there because people aren't interested and people are tired of this gated bullshit and whatnot. And now you're removing gates in 6.3, not because of our feedback, not because of what we said, it's because you didn't make enough money on 6.2 because people don't play it, right? So here is the point. Listen to the people. Right? Not just the numbers, not just the battle data. Listen to what people say. Many are stupid. Many people are idiots. Some are not. Have some sort of dialogue, discussion, right? Number two, your staff does not know the game. Your forum mods do not know the game. Your developers do not know the game. Hire some high-end players. And I'm not asking me. I probably wouldn't be interested regardless. But hire some experienced players to test some things, if not everything, something, right? Hire them as consultants. Ask for advice, how the community feels, because they are the people who are in touch with the community, not you. You don't know jack crap about how community feels at any given point about certain issue. You just assume that we're going to take anything that you decide and everything's going to be fine. No, hire people who know the game. Hire people who are around other people, right? Who are playing this game in alliances, who know what are the worries of middle tier alliance who know what are the worries of top end alliance. Hire people who know the game, who know how characters interact, and do it publicly. Let everybody know that you have done it. Let everybody know that you're making steps to improve your coordination with your player base. Because whoever's doing your public relations and communication with player base currently, I'm sorry, after this many mess-ups, they should be fired. I would be willing to bet that whoever is in charge of PR in that company is probably like a relative of the CEO or something, because they're clearly not qualified to handle this big task. And that's it. Talk to people, hire the players. Players do know your game better than you do yourselves. Your staff doesn't. Your developers don't really know as much. The experienced players who have been spending their days after days on this game for 3+ years, they do know the game. Trust them, hire them, employ them. And the last point of this already super long video is going to be address to community. Address to players. So address to players, and here's some very nice words I also have to say to our player base. First and foremost, ignore grounded wisdom. Stop talking to him. Don't reply to his post. Pretend he doesn't exist. He has derailed any significant discussion thread that there is open ever. He lives on the forums. I'm quite sure he either is Kabam Mike or works for Kabam Mike, but regardless, I'm not gonna get into too many juvenile jokes about his intellectual prowess. All I'm gonna say is just ignore the guy. There's no winning against people like that. He's either too thick or too well paid to lose an argument. But yeah, I'm seriously, don't let him derail any discussion. Just ignore him. Second thing to players is stop being needy snowflakes. There are many times Kabam mess up, and there are many times Kabam mess up in communication with players. But the longer this goes on, the more responsibility of it we as people playing the game also have about it. Because every time there is a slightly tough boss in uncollected event quest, we see 15 rants how it's a cash grab, how it's a money grab, how it sucks, how Kabam is bad. Maybe it's just you that's bad, and maybe you should look up some possible solutions how to beat this boss. Maybe, just not maybe. Every time there is anything happening in game that isn't supposed to, you need a compensation. Why? What for? Did it change you? Did it affect you? Really, is that so important? Are you that desperate for 20 4-star shards or whatever you lost because of some downtime? There are issues, obviously, where compensation is warranted. But really, just stop demanding something for nothing all the time. Just makes people, community look greedy altogether. Just because you want to score some free shit when things going wrong does not mean you should deserve it or is warranted. So stop complaining about every remotely hard fight. You know why? And here is the reason why you can't complain about every uncollected boss every month, and inevitably there is a complaint post of everyone in the forum. Because when Kabam does mess up, when Kabam makes a real BS fight, they're called to it. Why should they care about 6.22 Sinister fight that people are complaining about if people are also complaining about Warlock uncollected boss fight or something like that? Why? The problem is, because you complain about everything, Kabam actually probably can't even distinguish which one is actually a problem and which one's fine. Right? Same for compensation. If you demand compensation about the smallest thing, Kabam is just going to think that they cannot absolutely do anything without you wanting compensation, whether it's warranted or not. So the times that the compensation should actually be in order, you're probably not going to get it. Same goes for rank down tickets. If people are asking rank down tickets for everything, everything will change. Rank down this, rank down that, I need rank down tickets, right? Every single time somebody asks for rank down tickets, you are least likely to get them when they should be issued, like in case of this. And I'm sorry, I love the community, I love the people, but there is a large part of community that just don't get it. I'm not a saint by any means. I have done plenty of things wrong, and we all do, but just try to conduct yourself in a bit more polite manner. Maybe if you stop treating Kabam like wretched scum of earth that occasionally they can be. But you can't do that every day. That can't be your default setting, right? Whether you like it or not, for me, personally, I don't. I hate Kabam, right? I hate the fact that they're making this game. Like, Seaton said it as well. Seaton loves this game just like I do. I hate the company. But it doesn't mean I'm gonna attack them over everything. And it doesn't mean I can't give them credit or compliment where it's due. Just because I don't like them doesn't mean I can somehow magically ignore them or magically pretend they don't exist. You still need to work with them if you want to play the game. So just stop being a little whiny bitch and move on with it. They have done things wrong. We have done things wrong. And that's all there is to it. Just focus on then, there, and now. Don't hold grudges forever. Just try to actually be factual. Don't kind of promote hate speech, hate statements. Just deal with what you have to deal with at any given time. But yeah, that will be it for today's video. I'm sorry if I offended a few snowflakes. I'm sorry if I offended Mikey or anybody else working for Kabam. But it's just my opinion about it. If you don't like it, tough shit. If you do, well, then I'm glad you liked the video, I suppose. And yeah, sorry for keeping so long. That will be it for today, and I'm gonna catch you guys soon, later.